prospector living in his dreams. Mama bird in the sky, flying high and free, nest full of treasures hidden in her tree. Digging down deep, flying so high, prospect and protect, reach for the sky. Mr. Momo on the ground, with a sparkle in his eye, finds a treasure map, sees it and says why. Gentleman and Momo team up for the quest, Mama bird above them, guiding every step. Digging down deep, flying so high, prospect and protect, reach for the sky. Mr. Momo on the ground, with a sparkle in his eye, finds a treasure map, sees it and says why. Gentleman and Momo team up for the quest, Mama bird above them, guiding every step. Digging down deep, flying so high, prospect and protect, reach for the sky. Prospect and protect, reach for the sky.
Hey everybody, welcome. Look who I got here. This is Weld.
What's going on, everyone?
Can you believe it? Hey B&K. Hey Crash. Marvin.
How's everyone doing? Thanks for joining us today. Let's see.
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Hunter?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good.
Hope you're having a good day so far. Thank you for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you what, I've been pretty excited about this. I've been talking to Mama Bird about it. She knows how my passion is when it comes to survival tactics and this type of stuff. And I've been pretty pumped up. Hey, David Alphonse.
Me too, definitely.
Even in here. Look at all these wonderful people coming in here just to watch this. This is amazing.
Has some members of the knife committee here also. We got Nick and Backyard Barbecue in here. It's great to have you guys. I appreciate everyone being here today. Very hyped up for this live stream.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you something about Weld and Carry. If you guys, I've promoted him on the channel before, but if you guys haven't got over there and hit that like button and subscribe to Weld and Carry, you guys are missing out on a lot of good stuff. And I pinned his page right at the top of our page here, so it's easy to find. So be sure to get over there. And guess what we're going to be doing while we're during the talk sometime today, Hunter? I've got this bag right here.
Ooh.
Gentleman Prospector Pay Dirt. Now, most of my people already know I'm going to open it up. I've got it sealed, ready to go. But the only way you can get this bag is if I give it to you. These bags are never for sale and never will be. And they contain concentrates right out of Missouri. And they have real gold in them. And just to keep it nice and keep it cool, I've added a 1/4 gram of Missouri gold to this bag. So there's at least a 1/4 gram in here. But knowing where this comes from, I'm going to tell you there's going to be more than that. I can almost bet on it. And inside that, you'll also get a Gentleman Prospector decal, a Mama Bird decal, and one of these amazing Weld and Carry decals. And then there's also a little vial in there that you can put all the gold you find in it. That way you can keep it for all posterity.
That is awesome. What a great opportunity.
So at some point, we're going to be telling people a random comment that they can drop in chat, and we'll do a little random comment picker and see what we can figure out. if I can figure out this Ziploc bag.
And I know my GP sticker came in mail yesterday,
Ooh-wee.
as well as the Mama Bird one. There's a Mama Bird right here, then the Momo one. So awesome stickers.
Very nice. It looks like Nick Martino has a question there from over from your side. It says, has anyone across here ever came across a meteorite? Personally, I think that me and Mama Bird have found one, Nick, in all our years. I think we've had one meteorite, and it's small, but I've never sent it in for testing. Some of the stuff here that I send into MU to be tested, it doesn't make it back to me. So I'm just not going to send it in. I'm just going to assume that it is a meteorite, not a meteorite.
Yeah, just keep it to yourself. Yep. No chances. Hillbilly said, yeah, GP bags are very awesome. I definitely agree. It's an awesome opportunity.
Thank you, Hillbilly. For those that don't know it, Hillbilly's a girl. We got to meet her when we was in Maine, and got to meet her and her son. They're pretty awesome. They're pretty good people.
Really?
And I tell you what, they don't cut them very, very much better than Hillbilly is.
Very cool. Awesome. Yeah, Hillbilly's been over at my channel. Very appreciative of that also. Very good person.
Optimob. Now, some of you guys that are on my channel may not be able to see the chat from Hunter's channel, from Weld and Carry, and vice versa. So I suggest that you guys switch and swatch. Go over there and hit that like, hit that thumbs up. And while you're there, you just as well subscribe to his channel if you're not already. And vice versa. That's just the way it works. That's, you know, we like to share the love there. I'm just reading through chat a little bit here. So we're talking a little bit about survival tactics. And anybody that's read my description from day one on my page, I've never changed it. It's always been the same description. Buddy Biggs, you could fill a library with stuff you didn't know, bud.
That's very true. What's going on, Paul Casper? Thanks for joining us.
But I'm going to tell you that right on my description, it does say that, you know, I'm into prospecting, rock hounding, hunting, fishing, and survival. You know, typically wilderness survival, because that's the area that I live in. But I have trained in and trained on desert survival and mountain survival as well. And they're all different creatures. And one of the things that when we start talking about survival, people automatically go to, and their mind goes to stuff like the reality TV shows. And I'm going to tell you, them things are awesome. I love them. I love the reality TV shows. And, you know, they primarily teach a lot of bushcraft. And that stuff is so much fun to practice and to learn and all of that. But the reality of it is the items that you need to pull all that off, you usually aren't going to have it with you if you are in a real survival situation. One of the most important things that I've learned and that I teach in any survival class that I've ever taught was that one of the most important things to always have with you is a good knife. And I could give you my opinion of a good knife. I could try to explain it to you all day long. But I can tell you right now that this young man's knowledge is way above mine when it comes to knives. Way above. He's way up here and I'm way down here. So that's kind of why when I asked Weld and Carry to come in here, because a good knife, I mean, right now, you know, I've got my pocket knife that I carry every day. It's just a nice Gerber knife. It's a Gerber highbrow. And why I chose this one to carry, I don't know. I mean, it's a mid-range knife. I think it may be $70, $75. It don't cost much money, but it holds a good edge, and I like it. Would this be the knife that I choose if I knew I was going out and doing bushcraft? absolutely not. This would not be the knife that I chose because
Yeah.
the first time I tried to baton with this knife, it's going to be in about 3 pieces. And but it's still a knife and it could get done a
Yep.
lot of things that I needed to get done with. So I'm going to let Hunter talk a little bit about a good knife, and then I'm going to touch base on some aspects of blades and stuff like that. One of the things that you could look for if you was looking to carry a knife uh, every day for a survival situation. So, in your opinion, what's a really good knife that the average person could carry that is going to last to a survival situation or last in just everyday practice?
Yep. Yep. So first of all, I know a lot of people collect really expensive knives. Not saying that you need to collect knives like I do. I know most of the people in the EDC community do. Well, a lot of them do. But for me, a good knife is one that will hold up in any situation you need. But especially like this one right here, it's a Nafslander. So you got a good blade length and a good handle length on there. Don't need a super huge knife like I have a fixed blade right here. This one I horizontal carry. So just a small little pocket knife is good, just for EDC. This one also has good action on it. This one also I think is D2, so D2 is a budget steel. It will hold an edge, but it won't sharpen that well. As long as other steels here, this one right here is a titanium handle, and everything on the handle there is titanium as well as the pocket clip. And the blade is actually M390, which is a very high-end blade steel, probably one of the best you can get. But if you were to ask me what knife do you like more, obviously this one because it's $220. But this one is about $40, and this is really all you need. I've carried this around a pretty good amount of time, but just for me, really a knife is just one you could cut really anything with. And but yeah, that's really it for the basics of it. Also, if you would rather have a flipper tab on the back here, which is that thing on the back, that is a point of action that you can do. This one, if anyone was looking forward to buying their first knife, I highly recommend the Nafslander one. So with this one, there's a thumb stud right there. So you just flick it up, pops out really easy. But if one person had asked me what's I am buying my first knife, what would that be? I would say the Nafslander one. So for those of you who are looking into that one, so just a little bit of idea of what to look for in a blade.
Now you did mention that on a couple of them that they hold a really good edge, and some of them, though, you mentioned they're hard to sharpen.
Mm-hmm.
Both these are pretty important. You want something that's going to hold a good edge, but you also want something that you don't have to take necessarily to a professional or to have sharpened. You want something that you'll be able to sharpen at home yourself.
Yep.
And when it comes to sharpening a knife, I know that dates back to, it depends, there's so many different ways to sharpen a knife. It's kind of like panning gold.
Yep.
No two people are going to do it exactly the same. Everybody's got their own technique. And, I probably am as backward as the next guy when it comes to sharpening a knife, but I get my knife sharp and then I make it more. And any little tip, hint, anything like that you can give these folks, is there a super secret special knife sharpener out there that just John Q. Public can pick up and without any practice and sharpen his knife and without damaging the blade?
You can do like a work sharp sharpener. Those are pretty high end, so it's just work sharp. That's what it is. I know one of the guys that are collaborated with him. I actually have. I was going to pick up one of his knives, but he's an awesome guy. Definitely look up work sharp sharpeners. I'd actually need to pick one of those up here pretty soon because I just take mine to a sharpener. So I need to get better at sharpening in general. Also, they have like field sharpeners that you can get, but it's really all kind of preference. But I was also learning how to sharpen a D2 blade because that's a little bit harder. You should probably learn how to do that as well.
Sure. So it is like gold panning. It's practice. That's what comes with it. Practice and technique. So that's good to know. because I mean, we've got a lot of knife enthusiasts and a lot of prospectors in here that I'm looking at right now, you know, and anytime you mix and match, you know, you're going to have questions like that. So, uh, now, you was talking about the differences in blades. Now, I do know in survival, if you carry a knife, you, it's kind of a catch-22 because something that's really important in survival is to be able to throw, you know, keep it sharp, but also to be able to throw a spark. And a lot of steel won't throw a spark if you hit it with a flint. You know, and the steel that will throw a spark if you hit it with flint is going to rust on you. So there's a
Mhm.
lot more maintenance in that. So, you know, that's going to be a huge difference in if for me, if I'm choosing a daily carry knife, knowing what I know, that's going to be a big game changer too. Is what the blade is made out of, and how will the blade throw a spark? Will it not throw a spark? So you want to talk to you, and I seen you light up as soon as I mentioned that. So I know you
Yep,
got
yep.
stuff to say about it. So you want to go
Um,
on that?
yeah, so with a D2, well, all knife steels will rust if you don't take proper care of it. I actually won this one right here, which is a Dam Design Invictus from a knife company that I won from a giveaway on Instagram. But very good knife. Would never would have thought this one would have rusted, but obviously, if you don't take proper care of it, it will rust. So right there, you can see a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little rust on the handle there. I need to clean it up with the rust eraser. But if you don't take proper care of knives, that's what will happen. Leave in a wet garage, and obviously you don't want that because it affects how the blade cuts and everything. You always want a clean knife. But with M390, a higher end blade steel, it will obviously rust less than a budget steel like D2, like I showed this one here. So that's also just the gist of that. But I would definitely do your research before you pick a blade. You always want one you can easily sharpen, one that will do the job for you. So make sure you always research on knives before you get them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Uh, you know, because you know I've got an acronym scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and this is something that I created a long time ago. And this was when I was teaching kids, when I was teaching a group of kids survival tactics, and it's please remember what's first. That was the easiest way I could try to get to prioritize in my mind to teach uh, young boys and girls in their mind to remember. And you know, the P and please, that's pretty important. That stands for protection. So anytime that you feel like that you have become separated from a group, you become lost in the woods or desert or wherever, protection is number one. So the protection is, you know, you want to look at, are you hurt? Are you injured? What happened that made you get lost? You know, you may have been out bike riding and, you know, and motorcycles or what have you, and you had a flat tire or your equipment failed on you or you crashed your bike. You know, are you hurt? Are you safe? Are you injured? Because these are going to be very important into the survival aspect of it.
Yep.
And then also protection is, what are the elements outside? What time of year is it? You know, is it summer, winter, fall, spring? Because they all are going to play really hard into this. And the other aspect of protection is, are you going to be you know, do you think you're going to need a shelter? Here in the Midwest where we're at, we live around Mark Twain National Forest, which there's national forests all over the United States, as the chat can tell you. And I can tell you, I've been as deep in the heart of the middle of the national forest as you can get. And if someone was to get lost there, they're going to be there. They're going to be there a while. I've been on the rescue side of that, to where, you know, as a fireman and as a paramedic, to where you're searching for people, and that's very difficult to do. So all of this is important. So your protection, that's your first thing. And I'm going to shrink my ugly mug down in here, and I'm going to switch the camera just so I can.
Okay.
I got a little sign that I scribbled on is people can read my writing here that I've got set up behind me. And I've kind of broke that up so people can look at it and kind of see, take a screenshot, whatever they need to do. But so please remember what's first. The P is for protection. The R is for rescue. And the reason I've got the R as rescue under there is that's the next thing. Are you going to be able to get out of wherever you're at on your own? If you know where you're at and you're not injured, you're not going to do any injury to yourself getting out. That's always the safest thing to do, is to hike your butt out of there and get out of there before things do get bad and things do turn out bad. Because the easiest way to avoid a survival situation is not to put yourself into the survival situation.
I agree. No, I definitely agree. Yep.
So, but in each one of these elements that I've got up here, the protection, the rescue, the water, and the fire, and the food, the number one thing that will help me whenever I'm teaching people is a knife. I mean, if everyone that was in the class had a knife, I could teach them how to do all of this stuff with a simple thing as a knife. A knife and a piece of string. I'd always told them that a man can rule the world with a good knife and a piece of string. That's all you need. You can, and I seen that you had a nice lanyard on one of them that was probably 550 cord, and I love that. I mean, I think that's awesome, attached to that D-ring, because you can take and fold that 550 cord up, and you can end up with 30 foot of 550 cord on, that's 3 inches long if you do it right. And it's easy to carry in your pocket. It's not in your way, and it serves many purposes.
Yep. And then even with my EDC pouch, I always keep some paracord in there. If you could see that right there. The paracord there with the flashlight and the little
absolutely
covering it. But there we go. See a little tool in there, and the paracord, the flashlight, and the pen, and then the knife, and then the pry bar. So just a little thing I keep just in case. So it's always good to have paracord on you.
That's great that you're putting that pouch together. And anytime you go out, into the woods or hiking or whatever, the key is to have that with you, to make sure to always take that with you, because any situation that might turn out bad, you want that stuff with you. You purchased it, assembled it, and put it all in one place for a reason. And if it's at home on your nightstand, whenever you're out in the middle of the woods, it's not in the right place. And it all looks nice and pretty, brand new and sitting on there, but it looks really, really good too if you're out in the middle of and it snow's blowing and you need a piece of cord. That's right. It looks better when you need it. That's right. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. We got MPG saying a small flashlight is and a knife in the purse. That's awesome. See, women kind of has an advantage on us because they have purses, and now me personally, whenever I'm prospecting, I'm out in the middle of the forest prospecting, I carry what I call my man purse with me everywhere. Even if I don't have my backpack, I have my man purse, and it's just a satchel is what it is, a canvas satchel, but it has all this stuff in it that I need also.
That you need,
I carry all my prospecting stuff with me in it, but it also has, just enough things that if I have to spend a night or two out in the middle of there, that, I'm going to live fat and happy. I'm not going to be miserable out there.
Yeah. And I definitely agree with that. And some of my stuff, I want it to look pretty on my dresser and everything, but I have to learn that, you need this stuff. So even with I just want to look at knives and pocket jewelry, but I just got to learn that you have to use some of them. So when it comes down to it, you're going to need it. So
absolutely. We're talking about mushrooms. Must be talking about the food aspect of it here now. My friend Alaskan Assassin's in here. And,
awesome.
And then the next thing on that list is under the W is water. A lot of people, most of us, when we do go out hiking or even in our cars or what have you, we always carry water with us because, we're predominantly made up of water. Our body has to
Yep.
have it. And water is the one thing that we can't sustain life without for very long without. 2, maybe 3 days is it. If you don't get hydrated 2 to 3 days, you're going to succumb to it. And as a paramedic, I have seen this, and it's a horrible, horrible, horrible way to perish. I'm going to tell you now. With that being said, you always want to filter your water. One of the ways to filter it, the best way to filter it, it still may not taste good, but is to boil it. If you boil water, it's safe to drink. It may taste like mud, dirt. It may have twigs in it. You may be tasting something that it isn't like Dr. Pepper coming out of there, but it may look like it. It's safe because regardless of where you are in the world, man has pretty much soiled all the waterways. And if you look hard enough, all water out there is going to have, Giardia or Cristosporidium or some kind of bacteria living in it.
Yep.
However, with that being said, these things usually have a 5 to 10 day gestation period. So if you have to drink that water that you can't filter and you can't purify, by all means, drink that water because, a bellyache in a week when you're back home and you can go get medical attention is way better than dying out in the woods.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, water. And then, of course, the last thing is food and fire. Now, fire can come into a survival situation at any time because fire all of them, it can give you protection, against any kind of animals or whatever. Plus fire keep you warm. That's protection. It makes you feel good. Nature's TV, sitting out there looking at a fire. It can help with rescue because you can signal people. And it can help cook food. And it's the only thing that you got out there is fire that's going to be able to boil the water. Now there's some things you can do to pasteurize water, get it to 60 degrees and keep it there for so many hours to keep it and to make it safe. But even then, fire is the way to do it. So that can come into play at any time. So again, I can't stress the fact enough to have a means of a fire starter with you. And a good way to do that is the knife that whenever I'm hunting or even whenever I'm prospecting, the knife that I carry is an old issue knife, and it's got a Camillus blade on it, and it will throw a spark, and I can start a fire with that in about 3 seconds. It's really fast, and as long as you got some good dry tinder and you can get it sparked up there and get a fire going and blow some life into it, and you'll be living fat and happy.
Yep. For sure. Yeah, that's something I need to get as soon as I can. I don't know why I didn't get it yet, but fire starter, that's one of the most important things it's probably number one on my list right now. Yeah,
and ferro rods, little ferro rod fire starters, you can get them anywhere. You can pick them up at your local Walmart or Menards or your Lowe's or any place like that, and they're very, very, very cheap. And nowadays, you can even get them so small that you can wind like that lanyard that you had. You can have one wound up in your back. And I mean, it's there for all posterity. You hope exactly. Yep. I don't know, by looking at that, the way the weave is on that, it looks like a typical Ranger weave. I'd say there's at least probably 25 or 30 feet of line in there.
Yep.
And with that kind of line, like I said, you can rule the world.
A whole bunch in there.
Oh yeah. Yep. For those that aren't familiar with paracord, it's paracord. It's 550 cord. The reason they call it that is because it's a parachute cord it will sustain 550 pounds. I have repelled many feet on paracord. I got a piece here. It's Mama Bird's favorite color. It's pink.
Nice. Great color.
And this little piece, 24 inches long, little piece of paracord right here is so cool because you can do so many things with it. Because if you just take it, you can strip the sheath off of it. Inside the sheath, you have 7 strands of even smaller cord. And the smaller cord you can take, you can use it for fishing, you can use it for lashing, you can use it for a lot of things. And if you unwind that, because this isn't braided, it's twisted, you can even break it down smaller. And you can even get into, if you had to, in situations, sutures, you could sew stuff up with it. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on. But I mean, a piece that you had to your size, you know, you could take a little brook, put a piece around it real quickly, attach a line to it using a quick well digger's knot on here, which is another prospecting knot also. Like so, it pulls against itself. And if you did that 7 times, you could stretch that across the brook and you'd have yourself a nice little trot line to catch fish with while you're doing something else out there all day. And I mean, this is the kind of stuff that a lot of the reality bushcraft shows, they don't really show you a whole lot of, because people would be out there living fat and happy. I mean, there's people that do this, that buy paracord just to make fishing lines out of, because it's good to use and it's cheap.
It is, yeah.
And
I agree.
It's a good way to pass the time too. I mean, if you have a piece of string, keeping the right mode, and you know, just keeping the right mindset. If you're out there all alone by yourself, inside my wallet, I always keep little business cards and stuff that, you know, you'll be walking down the street or something and somebody will hand you. You know, you're never, ever, ever going to use that business card. But I try never to look at it, because my memory, once I look at something, I can reread it. I have an eidetic memory. So I try not to look at it. I'll stick 1 or 2 random cards on my billfold. And anytime that I'm out like that and you're all alone, pull it out and read it and just look at it, because that gives you a sense of socialization. And a lot of times, you know, that's where people go wrong. They can lose their minds out there. You know, and that's like, I love to sit and watch you when you're doing your lives, because you'll sit there constantly while you're doing your lives, and you know, and it's like almost like a figure. Yeah, exactly. And,
Just,
you know, that was one of the things that connect whenever I've seen your first live that connected with you. And it's like, you know, this guy, he is not doing that to show the blade off. He is doing that because it is helping him work out what he's saying. It's helping him. And
you're exactly right.
And see, that let me know that your style of thinking. And it's like, you know, he's a smart young man, very smart.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And the way that you keep the audience involved and you interact with them, and you know, as you can tell, I got the gift of gab too. I can talk all night.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But I do the same thing. A lot of times I'll be talking, and the only reason that I'm talking is so I can think. You know,
sure.
And that, you know, I've seen that with you as well. Hillbilly says she keeps 3 forms of fire starters and water purifications, and willingness to eat what I must to survive. I also have a live straw. I love live straws. When they invented live straws back in the late, you know, about 1990s, I thought, are these for real? And you can ask Mama Bird. I don't go anywhere. I don't get on a plane. I don't get in the car. I don't go anywhere without a live straw. Nowhere, because we have been all over, and everywhere we go, I always test out the live straw. I got to break it out no matter where we're at. We were in Hawaii in Ohana, And I'm down there, and we're in a tourist group, and I'm bent over in the creek, drinking out of the creek with my life straw. Everybody's looking at me like, "Look at this guy." It's like, no, I got to do it. I got to
Yep, yep.
do it. I
No,
flew
I
all
get
the way
that.
here just to drink this water.
Put it to the use. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I'll
do.
be go ahead. Go ahead.
Water purification is so important, and there's ways that you can make water filters in the wild. And again, that's for a that's a training situation. We're just talking tactics here. And but you can make filters. A filter is not a purifier. You can filter it down and make it taste good, and you're still going to get sick. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Because unless you purify it and get all the nasty little microbes out of there, you're still going to end up sick.
Yeah, when I was sitting on the couch the other day at homework, and I was able to focus more because I was constantly just flicking the knife and closing it, and just that sound made me think more and fidgeting with it. And Mom's like, "What are you doing?" Like, it's helping me think.
You know what? That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
They being in the medical side of it, years ago they came up with the little fidgeter things for
Yep.
kids. You know, and there's all kinds of them. There's the ones that pop in and out. You know, that's basically what the Rubik's Cube was actually designed for, was for thinkers. And, you know, someone that can fidget and think, they're usually pretty intelligent people. And science figured that out. And that's how they, you know, years and years ago, they come up with the Rubik's Cube. And, you know, I was one of them kids that had to pull the stickers off of it and pick. Nah, I figured it out. I figured it out pretty quick. But I know the kids that had to pull the stickers off of it.
Yeah. That's funny.
But, you know, that's awesome that you was able to recognize that you know, if your mind's so active that if you're doing something else, it helps it stay ahead of yourself. I call that thinking 7 times ahead of what you're doing. You know, it's like playing chess. You're not playing the move that you're making. You're playing 7 moves ahead at all times.
Yep.
When you play chess.
I agree. It's so important to do.
So now we talked about the difference in what now, and you talked about how you like to sharpen knives and that you do like to take your knives and have them sharpened. I'm the same way. Every you know, if my knife just needs touched up, I'll do that at home. And I'll tell you what, one of the things that I love, and this is kind of a hack, and you may have heard of it. It was shown to me 25 years ago. The old style street lamps, you know, that come on at dark at night.
Yeah.
The filament inside of them is about the size of a pencil. It's about, you know, yo long and about the size around of a pencil. Well, that filament is made up of German ceramic. That's what lights up. And a buddy of mine, again, it was been 25, maybe 30 years ago, and I don't know how he figured it out. But if you can get a hold of one of them, that will put an edge on your knife so fast that you'll be impressed. When he told me that, I was like, there's no way, man. It's a light bulb filament. And he's like, no, really. Try it. So he showed me. So we purposely would dull our knives and then hit them on that like a steel.
Yeah.
And I mean, within 60 seconds, you could take it and just slice through paper like this with it. And to this day, I keep 2 of them all the time. If I'm at a secondhand store and I see one of them old big bulbs, you know, because they're huge, I buy it because I want just that filament out of it, you know, nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that.
The key is breaking the bulb without actually break. And once you get it out, they're pretty resilient. And you don't want a new one because he ordered some. He thought, well, we can just order these. And he ordered new ones. And for some reason, the new ones don't work like that. They have to be used. They have to have had the current running through them. So I don't know. I do not know the science behind it. However, I do know that it does work.
Yeah.
but I've got wit rocks that my pops give me, when I was just a little boy, and the memories that I have sitting with him, because he sharpened a knife backwards from what everybody else does. Everybody else pushes away, and the difference between push and pull, and he sharpened it backwards. But that's the technique that worked for him, and just through, that's how I learned to use a wit rock as well. And I'm backwards from what everybody else is, but I've known that my whole life, that I'm kind of a backwards.
It's good to be different.
That's right. It's good to be different like that. Yeah. Yeah, that does happen too. I mean, mitochondria is different in other people, Heath. And you know what? What affects me or what makes me sick may not make you sick. The same thing goes with what you can eat, out in the woods. And this isn't training. We're not doing training here. But we've talked about this, and if you guys like it, we may start a series up, and we may do some training. And it may be something where Hunter can actually show you guys some different techniques and things with a knife that there's absolutely no way that I could show you how to do. I mean, like I said, this young man's knowledge is way up here and mine isn't. But, I can, there's stuff out there in the woods that is pretty much worldwide that I could tell you, hey, never eat that. Never eat that. That's, rule of thumb is watch animals, and watch your birds and stuff, especially on berries. Number one rule of thumb is if a berry's red, stay away from it. I know there is red berries out there that you can eat and they won't hurt you, but 95% of red berries will kill you. Do not eat.
I don't take the chance.
Right. So it's that simple. But the thing that you can stay the longest with and still be okay is food. You can go days without eating food before even your energy level begins to drop down, depending on what kind of health you was in when you started. If you was anorexic, already starving, and then it's bad. But if you was healthy and you was at your fighting weight and you was, when the survival situation started or the scenario started, then you can literally go days without eating before it begins to affect you.
Yeah.
Water, not so much. You need to hydrate every day, and you need, hydration is the key. That's good. And if you drink enough water, you feel full, so you can trick your stomach. It doesn't last. You still get hungry, but it's a trick.
Yeah, which I was very happy that we were discussing survival tactics too, because I don't want everyone just to think that you just need a knife to survive. Obviously, that's not the only thing you need. You need water, food, everything you had on the whiteboard. So I'm glad we're able to get on that context too, because that's not usually something I talk about. It's usually something showing a bunch of these knives, look how they can flick and everything. But the survival tactics behind is very important to learn as well.
I agree, and a lot of the stuff that I teach in survival tactics, they can go step through life with you too, because they're not just about survival. It's about using your wits, staying calm. It's about thinking the situation through. It's different things. And while I think a knife is probably the most important thing to carry with you, and you know what, that a lot of experts would agree, a lot would disagree with me. They would think that it means, to start a fire with. But one thing that every single survival expert would agree on is that anything that you put into your ditty pouch like you have there, or a lot of people carry in a vial. I carry mine in a aluminum vial that I can actually heat water up in, and it's just a small aluminum vial that it's actually stainless steel. It's not aluminum, but it's got a lid on it, and I stuff it full of everything I think I'll ever need, and then I hope I never have to ever open it again. And That's what it amounts to. And it's easy just to keep, in your backpack that you take every time you go, or into your, what I call my man purse every time I go. And, Heath's talking in there. He has seen my man purse. Me and him have prospected together in other
Okay.
states, and he has seen it. And most people that's watched my show has seen it. And it's got decals and everything on it, but that's where I keep it at.
Hillbilly wants to know, how did he get into the knives? And Lisa wants to know how many he's got.
Mama Bird, did you hear that question?
I did.
Okay. So I'm going to shut up. That was my cue to shut up and let this.
No, you're good. You're good. I appreciate the question. So how do I get into knives? So my dad always had a good amount of Benchmades. He had the old school Benchmades that was collab with Emerson. Emerson is a knife designer, so they had a bunch of awesome collabs. So he just had like 10 that I always looked at. So when he would go to work, sneak in his closet and start flicking his knives, and he would eventually know because they were misplaced. I'd put them in different areas on accident. But I'd always just start messing around with his knives. And one year, I actually have one of my first knives I got here. One year I asked for my first knives. I had no idea which one I asked for. I just liked it because it had a cool little thing on the blade there. This one was about $40. But my first knife, I then started watching a guy named Metal Complex. He's a big YouTuber with a lot of subscribers on, big EDC guy. But started watching his videos. Then from there, I just started collecting knives. I asked him every birthday, every Christmas, just knives, and just started collecting it through there. I think I started when I was about 16, then I started progressing off that. And to answer the other question, I think I have about 200 knives. So
wow.
What's that?
Yep. So you got as many knives as I have gold pans in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. And you know what, the memories that you have with that, because that was something that your dad got you interested in and started, that's amazing. And that you can pass on to generations and generations. And that's a good thing about a good knife is, unless you lose it, and it's, and then some of these metal detectors might find it someday, but unless you lose it, a good knife, it's going to be around forever.
Yep. I agree.
And as long as you maintain them and use them for the purpose they're going to be used for. I carried this little guy with me for years and years and years. And this guy has been in a lot of survival training scenarios with me. And this is a Kershaw, and it's one of the Ken Onion edition Kershaws.
Okay.
So, and I've got its bigger brother as well. Now, why did I choose this one? I love the paraframe knives. I don't know why. They serve a purpose and they don't, but I've always just liked them. I like the way they feel. I've got big hands and I like the way they feel in my hands. And the Ken Onion editions always seem to have, something that holds on really good. Now, I will say that this one's bigger brother, I broke it in a survival training scenario. And I was batoning with a big limb, and I was cutting a cedar tree about 6 inches around down with it. We was putting a shelter together. And as you know, that's with a folding knife, that's a no-no. You don't baton. Yep. You want a good, strong, full tang blade.
Yep.
And but yeah, exactly.
A little fixed blade, a little more width on the blade there. So
exactly.
I agree.
It did not break where I thought it would. When it broke, it sheared right here.
Oh, right down the middle.
Yeah. Well, I got a hold of Kershaw. I give him a call, and I told him I was misusing the knife, that I was batoning with it. And they said, "Can you send us a picture?" I did. And they said it should not have failed there. And they gave me a brand new knife.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very kind of them.
And exactly. I thought so too. And, that's important too, is, as I'm sure you can agree, whenever you're making a choice, because knives much like a lot of gold prospecting equipment, like a dredge or a sluice, you know, there's different tiers. Money doesn't really matter as long as they both do the same thing.
Yeah.
Until you have to replace it, until it's failed and you have to replace it. Then customer service is important. And, you know, that's something that I haven't, other than I've dealt with Case before in the past, and that's before Case sold out. And that was when they, you know, that's pre-90 that I've dealt with them. And pre-90, Case was amazing. I loved their blades. The blades would throw a good spark. And I still have two Case knives that I will never get rid of that are mean, you know, something more to me sentimentally than they ever will in value. But, you know, they're still a very expensive knife. But you know, I wouldn't take any amount of money in the world for them just because they do mean something to me. But customer service when it comes to knives. Now, the knives that you've been displaying there, I know that you deal a lot with the knife companies themselves. You reach out to them. How is that customer service, and what can you tell us about that?
Well, I do have some of the knives in my closet that companies do give me, but most of the knives I had bought or I've gotten for birthdays or Christmases. But I would say the ones that I work with have been awesome. I've been doing some reviews with different companies. They send knives to me to review for free, and then I give them feedback and show them to my audience. I think I did on this one offer a 10% discount on one of my videos. So if you use my referral code and you use the 10% discount, you do get 10% on that. But usually most of the time, for the ones that I work with are really nice. I would recommend that if you were looking to work with a company, make sure you do your research on them and make sure that they are the perfect suit for you. Also, when you are looking into a knife, make sure that you do like the company. Make sure you look into the different blade steels on them, different handles. Just overall, make sure you do your research on them. But yeah, the ones I have been working with, very nice. I highly recommend them. Well, there are some companies that I've had no luck with. I tried reaching out to them 3 times, but that will happen. That's always going to happen. You'll be reach out to some, have luck, and some other ones you won't. Just depends on what they like of you, and if they don't like anything, just really all what they think. So,
have you found a difference when dealing with? Because I know there is a lot of foreign knife manufacturers that make amazing knives. A lot of people, you know, say a lot of bad things about Japanese knives, but they're like anybody else. They have high-end knives, and Japanese make some amazing steel that is just incredibly strong and resilient. Have you dealt with any of these knife companies in the past, or?
Yep. So from China, I am working with a couple from China. We do have a little bit of a language barrier, so it's kind of hard to do with some of those. But I've had like this one, Fair Monster. This one was from the U.S. I have a bunch of my closet that are from China, maybe one from Switzerland. I don't know. But with the biggest thing I want to talk about is the difference between American companies and Chinese companies. So with an American, I don't know if you noticed, but the American knives are getting jacked up in price a lot. With the Chinese knives, they are getting lowered to try to beat the American companies. But really, I love, like, I have a bunch of Civivs in my closet. Great knives, great budget. Like with this one isn't a Civivi, but it has great steel, which is D2. So with the D2 steel, you're going to get, it's more of the budget steel. So like $0 to, let's say, $80 with some of them. But I do love the Chinese companies and what they do. Some of them. Most of them are great. They offer great stuff. But yeah, there is a little bit of a language barrier there, but it's easy to get by. Just got to work with them a little bit. But the main thing, it's a company called Benchmade. One of my favorite knives they made is a Benchmade bug out. And this one is a little bit like it. This is called a Hogue Deca. This one is about 180. This one's about 120. I got on sale. So this one is going to be cheaper than this one. However, this one is magnet cut, so it's a better blade steel. And even though it's like less expensive than Benchmade, it's just because Benchmade made a name for themselves and they've just skyrocketed their prices. So make sure you know which knife you want to.
Exactly, and that's the kind of knowledge that the viewers need to know right there, is because just just because you're not buying the name, you're wanting to, when you spend that kind of money on a knife, you want the quality as well.
Yep.
And anything that you can get a little extra out of and have a little extra put in your pocket, that's even better. In my book,
Yep.
that's much more gooder than just the name is. Now, if money's no object, then absolutely, there's nothing wrong with name brand.
Yep.
It's like everything else. It's like going grocery shopping or something. There's a lot of things that are the best choice store brand that comes out of the exact same factory that Kellogg's might have or Purina or whomever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same quality, the same food, but you're saving pennies, and we all know that's what it's all about, is saving pennies. Yep. So anything that we can help like that with. So, all right, we've been on for about an hour.
Yep.
What do you think of a good hashtag that these folks can put in here?
Whatever you think. Maybe survival.
Hashtag survival.
Yep.
So I will type that in there.
Okay.
Just like I spelt it there. And then I'm going to go over here real quick to my giveaway tool and set that up.
Okay.
Oh, look there. Entries are coming in already.
Yep. They're excited for that.
We got 15 entries in. I know we got a lot more people. There's 17. Here we go. They're coming in now. 19. Guys, we'll put hashtag survival in for a chance to win a bag of Gentleman Prospector pay dirt with real gold. It's got a minimum of 0.25 grams of gold. A lot of you guys out there on the prospecting side have gotten this pay dirt, and you guys can vouch for it. And you'll get custom stickers by Weld and Carry, Gentleman Prospector, and my better half, Mama Bird.
Nice.
I say my better half because we've been married for over 37 years now. So I think that's
nice.
My better half.
That's awesome.
Hashtags are still coming in, so we're going to let them keep coming and building for a little bit. I sure hope somebody wins this. Yeah, your bag had an amazing amount in it, Prospector Jason E. Minor. That's just it. When I put this together, when we first started doing this, our channel's only been going since March. And we started our channel. We wanted a way to give back on the love. So we found a place here in Southeast Missouri that and it's all on my videos. You guys can watch us dig it up. That has some pretty good gold deposits in it. And I'm going to tell you the name of the creek right here. It's called No Tell 'em Creek. You guys can Google that, and you won't find any directions because there's no such place. But that's what we call it, is No Tell 'em Creek. So it is. You can watch it on many of our videos. But what we did was we filled up several buckets, and 2 of the buckets that we filled up, we brung back home. Of course, everything was wet and muddy and all. We dried it all out, and we didn't look in it at all. And I'm still working on the same bucket. I've got 3/4 of a bucket left, and I put about a scoop and a half of material out of the bucket in one of these bags, and then I throw a 1/4 gram of gold into it to go with it, and we just give it away. And that, you know, we've given away several ounces of gold doing that, and it's just our way of sharing the love. It's our way of saying, hey,
Yep,
you know,
yep.
get out there and try this, give it a shot. This is a lot of fun. It's a
For
fun
sure.
activity to get involved in, you know, just like knife collecting.
Yep.
I mean, it's something that you can do with your friends. It's something you can do that's you know, safe and legal. It's probably not as rewarding as knife collecting can be, because, you know, the knife collecting, that's something that you have for all posterity. The gold collecting, you know, if you get a bunch of gold built up, eventually you're going to want to sell it. That's just the way people are, you know. And we got enough built up that we decided we wanted to give some away and share with our friends. And everybody in here is our friends. Looks like
Yeah.
we got 33
Yeah,
people.
that's the other awesome thing is it's not just, you know, the knife community, it's not just the prospecting community. I love it when, you know, all the communities come together. It's truly amazing to me also. It's awesome to see everyone together, and
Isn't that great? Isn't that
it
great?
really is. It really is.
And you know, that was something else that stood out to me was the very first, and I try to catch all your lives. I do. I don't get to see them all, just like you can't never see all mine. We can't
Yeah,
never
me
watch
too. Yep.
everybody. I mean, we got lives and we're busy. But the very first live that I watched, that I came into of yours, even, hey, Fobo Rob, get your hashtag in there, buddy. Hashtag survival.
Get your
And
hashtags in.
every one of the lives I've been in on yours, you promote everyone, not just one person or 2 people, but everybody that comes in there. You promote them. You ask people to go over and sub their channel, and you can tell that you've actually been over and watched their stuff, because you always say a little bit of something about them. And that, you know what, that's the best way to show love, is that you're showing interest in them. And that's exactly what you're doing. And that's what it's about, is, you know, even though that Marvin Huff's interest might be different than Twisted Sis 76 interest, you know what? If they just look and listen to what the other person, that's showing that they love, that, you know, there's love out there. And there's so much hate and diversity in the world these days, that's what we need. We need to share the love. We need to show unity, you know. And everybody is preaching diversity, and that, you know, we're all getting further and further apart. And I don't see it that way. I see us coming together as one. And I think that if, instead of the diversity, I think that if unification is something that everybody supports, then we're going to make it through it, whatever it is, whatever the situation is, whether it be a hurricane or a tornado or COVID or whatever. We're gonna make it through it. We're gonna be okay.
For sure. Yeah, it's always good to show people the same love they give you. So I'm big on that as well, and I know you are too.
Oh yeah. Debate, no hate. There you go, Nick. I like that. All right. We're at 40. We got 40 entries in there right now. That's pretty good. We're gonna let it let it go for a few more minutes, see if anybody comes in. I know a lot of people just got off work, maybe, and
Yep.
hey, yeah,
Hey, Alma, how's it going? Let's see.
I'm gonna be sure to get your hashtag survival in there for a chance at the GP pay dirt, and along with the GP pay dirt, you're gonna get a GP and a Mama Bird sticker. And I know how Alma likes stickers. You're gonna get a Weld and Carry sticker.
Get your hashtags in. Don't miss out.
Don't miss out.
17 here. I see more pouring in. More hashtags.
There we go. Yeah, I thought, seeing how it was right at that top of the hour mark, there'd be people
Yep.
getting off work, getting in their vehicles and getting out of school and different things. And that, hey, let's give it let it run a few more minutes and see how many
Yep. I agree.
we can drag in there. So I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from the audience. I want to know. Angela lost her wrench.
Yeah, he had a wrench on my channel. I think he's talking about my channel.
I think they're currently on my channel, so I am going to give them a wrench on my channel as well.
No.
Because there's no better way. No, we all want to be Smurfs. Nobody wants to be a Gargamel. Miss Gail says she didn't enter because she would win. Miss Gail is pretty lucky. That could happen.
That's awesome.
There ain't no nicer people out there than Miss Gail. I mean, she was a little camera shy when we first met her, and she won a bag of GP pay dirt. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I talked her into going and filming it and making a video. And now you should see some of her videos. They're awesome. She's great at it. She's absolutely great at it.
It's awesome to hear. How's it going, everyone? Thanks for joining us.
I'm just reading chat, guys. I know it's weird to see GP not talking because I'm usually blah 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 blah. But hey, Paul. Welcome, my friend. See there, Gail? Marvin's got the solution. He said, if you win, just send it to him.
Just play for him.
Nobody, Biggs. That is not true. There's nobody on the planet that talks more than you, my friend. However, we like to hear you. We like to listen.
We do. Yep.
Keep talking. I thank you, Gail. We appreciate that.
What's going on, Mike's Knives?
Mike's Knives.
He's a newer channel.
I subbed to Mike's Knife from your channel.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's something that I always try to do is try to share the love. And, that's something I will always do is if I sub to someone, I don't just sub. I go in and at least watch a short, maybe two, and leave a comment because, as you know, YouTube doesn't like to make it stick unless you've.
Yeah. Yep. They think it's bots. Weld puts more shorts than GP daily. I do put a lot of shorts. Put 3 shorts a day.
This is true, Mama Bird. I don't know how many telling buckets that we have and that we kept. And I've kept telling buckets from way before we ever started this show, the channel. And I still, when we can't get out and I'm bored, I'll break them out and I'll go through them, and I still find tiny little micros of gold in there. I just can't throw it away. It's like an addiction with me. All right, we're getting ready to run this.
Yep.
Like I said, I have a phone call coming in at 1700 my time. We've got 48 people in there. So who's ready to run this? Anybody ready? Anybody ready to see who wins this amazing bag of pay dirt with these cool stickers?
Awesome, Ron.
I think everybody's ready. I see in the
Yep,
world.
I think they're ready.
Brown Sugar says, good luck, everybody. I agree, Brown
Good
Sugar.
luck.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everyone.
Awesome.
Here we go. We're going to run it. We're going to run it right now. Here we go. There it is. Who's going to be the winner here? Who's it going to be?
Mike's
Mike's
Knives.
Knives. Was we not just talking about Mike's Knives? Look at that. Look
That's
at
his. He's won a bunch of
That
giveaways.
just
I think
happened.
he won like 3. That's awesome.
We'll just want another one. Mike's Knives. You will find my email in the description or in my about section of my page.
Awesome.
Yeah, congratulations, Mike Knives. And just in case, I'll also run it right here. And that way you can write it down. Email me your address, buddy. And I will I'll get this out first thing tomorrow. I'll get it in the mail. That's awesome. And
Congratulations.
It's always good to see someone new win. And I know they're new to me because I think it was just yesterday that I subbed to them. So they're new to me. But they've been on your channel for a little while. But I think that's awesome.
It is, for sure. Awesome win.
And I'll tell you what, at Mike's Knives, I don't know if you've ever panned gold before or not, but if you have any questions or need any help, there's a lot of people right here in this chat that are really, really, really good prospectors. Or you can reach out to me and I will do whatever I can to help you. But I guarantee you there is a minimum of a 1/4 gram of pure gold, Missouri, right out of Missouri in here. And
that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
The last time I checked, gold was almost $2,700 an ounce, which puts it about $88 a gram. So
that is awesome. Very lucky.
It's a fun hobby and it can be profitable at the same time.
Yep. For sure.
Nice. Very nice, Mike.
That's awesome.
I was reading. Sorry, guys. I wasn't ignoring you. So did you guys kind of like this today? I mean, what we got going on? I mean, I like to interact. I can interact with Hunter all day long. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir. Me too.
And I mean, I could just sit and hang out, interact with him. I think we'd have a great time around the campfire.
Yep.
If nothing else, just flipping our knives open.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We could sit there and have a conversation because I'm the same way. I got to have busy hands all the time, and just who I am and the way I am. I'm an active person. That's what I tell everybody. My buddies say, you need to sit still. I'm like, you don't understand. I'm an active person doing something. Exactly.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you guys think that this is something you guys would like to see, we can confer with one another a little more in detail, and we can set up maybe some live stream training scenarios, or we can even, do some pre-recorded stuff and send it back and forth. But like we did today, by him joining in like this, and he's linked here. I can see everybody that's linked in here, and this benefits both channels. Both channels get, they get credit for the watch hours on it, so that's a good thing. And like I said earlier, if you haven't been over to Weld and Carry's channel, I've got his link pinned at the top of the page. If you're on my channel, get over there, subscribe to him. I know he just knocked 1,500 subs out of the way, and he's headed towards 1,000 rapidly. I'd like to see him get there quickly. And I know you guys can make it happen. We busted over 1,000 subs a month before what our goal was. Our goal was Halloween, and I told everybody we're going to have this Halloween party if we break 1,000 subs. And I didn't think it would happen. I really didn't. I didn't think that inside of 60 days we could get 500 subs. I was so wrong. It happened so fast, and it's the love that these people have showed me. So we got a huge, huge, huge giveaway, a huge Halloween party planned where everybody anybody's going to get a chance to come on stage just like we are and show off their Halloween costume. And we're going to have some amazing gifts, some amazing prizes. Now, with that being said, all the prizes that we're given, or I don't say all, but 90% of the prizes that we're giving away are gold prospecting related. We have sluice boxes, header boxes, panning kits. So if this is something that you're just wanting to get into and you don't have the equipment or stuff, that's a good opportunity to get into it. Plus, we're actually giving away gold nuggets. We got 2 gold nuggets that we're going to be giving away, maybe more. You never can tell with me and Mama Bird. We get into the giving mood and we just start around,
I have to enter those.
Yeah. And that's what it's about. For us to be able to reach out and share and to give people stuff, that's all we want. All we ask of you is that you take it and like it, enjoy it, and we want to see a smile on your face. So if you win something, Mike, with this pay dirt, I'd like to see you make a video. I know you got a channel. Tag me in the video because I want to see that smile. That's what it's about. I want to see that smile on your face. I want to know that what we did, you shared the love there, that it made you happy. And who doesn't like gold? I mean, really, since the beginning of time, everybody likes gold.
They do.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. I know. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, everybody that's the. If there's one thing in the world that can unite the world, it's gold, because we all agree that it's great.
Yep. For sure.
So, is there anything you want to add to this, Hunter?
I don't believe so.
I think you have a giveaway coming up pretty soon too, don't you?
I do. I actually have that knife coming up here. I think it's right here. It's a cool little slip joint I'm giving away on my channel. Got different colors on there. Very
nice.
Yep. So just have 3 different blades on there. So you got one right there. And, yep. I got 2 like that. So giving away that one at a little late. I reached 15,000 like a week, or not 15,000, 1,500 a week ago. So a little late, but
I seen you smash through it, and we was like, yes. And I knew you. I just every day I watched your numbers to just grow, and they're going to continue to do that, brother. They really are. They're just going to keep going up. And
I appreciate that.
More that we can share out Weld and Carry's page, the faster it's going to grow, and to get him up there. and get his watch hours up there. Get them watch hours up there for him.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's push him in there. And remember it's real easy just to click, even if you've already watched a 2-hour live, to hit it, turn the sound up, even if it's just a little bit, but you need to have your sound up on that and walk away, and his watch hours will go up. That's always a good thing to do. While you're cooking, you can put it on there. While you're washing the car, you can put it on there.
Yeah. Same thing with you. I just want to congratulate you on 1K. That's awesome. That's a great milestone. It always feels so amazing to get that first 1K for sure.
Yeah, and that it's humbling for us. We never, just for this old guy that does nothing but sit around and talk and wash rocks. I mean, that's all I ever do on the show. It seems like is wash rocks, but I like to wash rocks. I like all gold must be liberated. So I'm out there trying to liberate all the gold. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm liberating the gold for you guys.
People love it, so keep doing what you're doing. I'm holding out for a donut or banana knife from Weld. Oh, got my donut knife here. Got a little donut knife collection.
That is pretty awesome, yeah. Donut pink, Mama Bird says. Thank you, Gertrude. Yeah, Rockhound is Mama Bird's Rockhound, and Mama Bird really needs an intervention because we have so many rocks. I'm telling you. And the thing is maybe I'm the one that's actually needs the intervention because I like watching the excitement that they bring her, and whatever it is, just like I like watching the excitement that the gold brings you guys. We give you, and
yep, for sure.
Something nobody can ever take away though from me is this gold that's in this bag. These eyes right here was the first eyes that ever saw it.
Yep. Yeah.
For your eyes may be the next set of eyes, Mike. Your eyes will be the next set of eyes to see it, but mine was the very first set of eyes to ever see this gold that's in this bag. And I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool, for sure. That's awesome. Well, yeah,
go ahead.
Even if you just want to do another live stream, I mean, we don't really have to have a point in it too. If you just want to we can do another one together and just discuss, whatever. So I'm good with that as well.
Yeah. I had fun. I enjoyed it. I mean,
Me too. I had a blast.
And, I think that's something that we should actually consider and talk about. And, we may want to do some small lives and that we can, maybe because I know you do lives quite often. You're probably going to go live after this today, I'm assuming. And, we like to watch that. It's that time of year now that I like to be around the fire pit outside because it's not blistering hot. So,
yep.
I can sit out there around the fire pit and whittle out a figure 4 deadfall sit, and just be happy. And, if I'm teaching someone else how to do that, how to make snare traps, how to make, wood traps and stuff like that, that's fun for me. I enjoy that. And
yeah,
it's a good time. So yeah, I absolutely think it's something that we should consider in the future and coming up. And I know that there is, I mean, we've done nothing but talk today, but I know there's a lot of things, a lot of skills that you have when it comes to knives and other things, even, on the survival end of it that you can show and teach the rest of us. And that, I'm willing to learn it all. Hey, Curly Bill. Hey, Rock Butcher.
Yeah, for sure. Even with knives too. I mean, there's just so many different opening mechanisms, whether it's just a flipper tab on the back there or the thumb stud or the crossbar lock and the liner lock. There's so much to get into, even with the with the autos, you have the little button there, so it just pops straight out, which I'm not really a fan of. I was going to go into that a little bit. Not really a fan of those because kind of don't like my pocket because just in case, I lay down to something and it just flicks open, just kind of something I don't like. But I would rather have the flipper tabs just so it's manual.
Sorry,
Just my
I forgot.
perspective, but
Fitbit. Thank you for reminding me. Fitbit said, "Can you change the screen?" I can. I'm sorry. My bad. That's on me. Having so much fun, I forgot about it.
Yep. But yeah, there's just so much to get into with that as well.
Sure. And you know what? This is an amazing learning experience for us. I have taught some classes online before, but it's never been through YouTube. Some of the stuff that I did was put into YouTube, but I have done some some online teaching in the fire service and different things. I used to, for E911 in our area, I taught a lot of radio etiquette skills. Everybody talks different, and so one of the things that I did was I would send them Lego sets, and then they would only have instructions, and we would read across the radios. One person would have the instructions, one person would have the Legos, and then you would build something out of Legos by radio. Yeah. And it would
awesome.
learn the people to kind of get inside everybody's head. Another thing was people would be in separate rooms. One person would have a remote control. The other people would be guiding a remote control vehicle through stuff. And all right, go forward, turn left, go forward, turn back up, turn left. Because, the radio etiquette in the emergency world is getting much, much better, but it used to be horrible. We used to have such horrible etiquette, and nobody talked the same. Nobody did stuff the same. And, 9 codes, were different from this department to this department. And it would make a horrible emergency scene. But things since 9/11, things have gotten improved and gotten way, way, way better. And that's a good thing.
It definitely is.
Hey, Dirt,
teamwork's very important.
So, guys, I'm glad everybody came. I've got about 30 minutes to get ready for the phone call that I seen was coming. Hunter, I'm really glad that you accepted coming in here and being live with me. I can't say enough good stuff about Weld and Carry. Again, go over there if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. Watch some of his videos. He just put out some new shorts today. You can watch them shorts, and very knowledgeable, very informative young man, and he's going to go well. You guys are getting in at the ground floor of this great new channel right here, and all you got to do is go over there and hit subscribe and just go with it.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's awesome to have everyone here, even people from the knife community coming over here. It's truly awesome. And likewise, your channel, or for anyone that's not subscribed to Gentleman Prospector, please check his channel out. Offers a bunch of great content, and very nice guy. So thank you very much for having me. Appreciate that. And thank you for your kind words.
The pleasure was all mine. And I really do. I look forward to putting something together in the future with you. And, that, guys, just so you know, we absolutely didn't even talk about what we was going to talk about. We just kind of winged it. This was all just winged it. And, next time it'll probably be a little bit better because we can we exchange contact information, and we can maybe set something up that we're both on the same page with. We just winged it and went with it. I think it went well.
It did.
Thank you, Alma. Appreciate that. But until the next time, I don't know Hunter's weekly live schedule. I don't know Weld and Carry's. I get notifications and I go over there when I get them. If I'm not busy, That's usually the way that I do it. I know that every Monday night we are always live, and we always have a premiere out on Wednesday evenings. That's just the days that we pick to do it. Not no really no reason or rhyme to why. It's just the way we did it. But this coming up Monday night, guys, we're going to be doing a special because it's going to be the Monday before our Halloween special. But we're going to be doing everything's all about the Flyer Gold Wizard. And if you guys don't know who the Flyer Gold Wizard are, you guys are missing out. I mean, Jason is great people, but we're going to be running a lot of Flyer Gold Wizard pay dirt down a brand new Flyer Gold Wizard sluice box that he sent us.
Ooh.
And it'll get you guys a new look at a new piece of equipment that you may or may not have seen already that is going to be in one of our giveaways coming up in probably our Christmas giveaway, because we have one to give away. So we're going to give one of them away. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's all top quality stuff. But until then, guys, get over there, watch Weld and Carry, interact with one another, share each other's channels out, subscribe to each other, continue to share the love. Everybody continue to be humble. And I hope I see you guys out there. I hope to see you out there.
Yep, for sure. Thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate it, and have a great rest of your day.